everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 687. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
And holy Christ, it's our streamiversary.
Yeah. Well, it's affiliate anniversary.
Well, how did you find that out? Because I sure as hell didn't know.
I don't know. I went onto the Twitch stream and it was right there where my messages are.
Oh.
It's like, hey, use this party hat to celebrate the affiliate anniversary. So I just hit enter and then that popped up.
All right,
okay.
So now I'm seeing it right here. If you go to our Twitch page at twitch.tv/animejamsession, there is a little party hat there. So that is kind of cool. So you know what? It's the little things like that. I'm like, you know what? We good. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Unfortunately, Ari is off tonight. He's working the mid shift, so he's probably listening in and stuff like that. And before anyone says it, yes, I see the rundown, and I totally forgot to update it, because check this out. I'm putting together the whole summary and everything, the scheduled post, and it goes uploading, updating, and it just spins. And I'm just like, oh, this usually happens. I open up a new browser tab, and I'll see it there and close the other one out. Didn't see that. And I went to message somebody, and it says offline. I'm just like, really? Evidently, my FiOS went out last night for a total of like 5 minutes.
Oops.
Yeah. So I had to go back and redo the whole thing. And I guess in doing so, I legitimately forgot to take care of the outline. So I'm going to take care of that now. Yeah, I'm going to take care of that right now as I do this entire update and all of this stuff. So, oh man. And you know what's crazy? I'm seeing more ads and stuff for traveling to Japan. I'm just like, God damn it, I was just there 3 months ago. You're not doing me any favors here, Facebook and Twitter and X and all that crap. But anywho, we are, before we get into that we're live, Mako-chan, how are you doing tonight?
Okay.
Well, that sounds like a decent okay, I suppose.
I'm just, it's a little like the humidity is starting to pick up again.
Really?
So now well, it is around here. So I'm just, it's a little warm in here. I'm not hot enough to like turn my AC on, but it's a little stuffy in here.
I mean, I can kind of see that. I mean, it's like I said, you know, at the beginning of the month, I woke up and it was like 10 degrees colder than it was. So I've been running around with the AC on higher temps. And I think because of that hurricane that's out in the water, we're feeling the effects of it. So when I woke up this morning and yesterday morning, I actually left the house with my hoodie and wearing a long sleeve collared shirt. And and I'm like, oh, that's not until September, but I will take this as it is and not gonna complain, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's not bad, but they are calling for rain tomorrow. So the humidity's going up to, I guess, allow that to happen.
I get that. I'm feeling kind of off because I felt like, you know, I had two people trying to tell me how to do my job today, and I'm like, we're kind of on the same level here, so kind of know your role and shut your mouth, you know? But I eventually said, you know what, I make it to the end of the day, come home and hang out with y'all. So it's how it is. So anywho, now that we got that out the way, also I'm kind of annoyed by this headset and the crackling I hear in the background, and I'm hoping to pull out my other pair that's somewhere in my little mini storage box. So anywho, let's get that out the way. We are live tonight, week of August 19th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. You'll always find us here live on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at our streaming link at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And you can find them not just at vognetwork.com, but on Twitch at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And while you're at it, come hang out in the Discord with the rest of us. vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's streaming live on Twitch as part of the Vog Network has their own channel, so come through and hang out with us and have a pretty good time. We know we're holding it up, so it's how we do. So now that we got that out the way, Mako-chan, how was your day and how was your week?
Not horrible. Got to hang out with friends on Saturday. Got to indulge in a little bit of nostalgia on Sunday. As we went to see the 90s Ninja Turtle live action movie. It was very, very nice to see it in theaters again.
It was. I was that the original, or does it kind of feels like as if it was kind of remastered,
It definitely was crisper.
Yes.
Than the video was in the 90s, so I am assuming that it was a remastered version.
Yeah. And again, when I watched it this time, I did spot another scene that I didn't realize before. It's like the little scenes when it cuts between one scene to another and another. And it was like where Casey Jones was trying to sleep in the truck and Danny had ran off. I'm just like, wait, I don't remember that from the last time I saw that. And then I remember one time before when I watched it, I totally missed a scene where he was following him to the hideout. I was like, I don't remember seeing that before, It's the little things, And the thing is about that. Oh, I'll get into it during my weekend day, so please continue.
Well, I mean that's basically it.
Okay.
Just, going strong at work, and that's about it.
Okay. Glad to hear that. So, my weekend days are basically the same, work here and there. There's been some stuff at work, and it's just me trying to deal with certain things that have happened. It's not a bad thing, but it just feels like, maybe some people should kind of stay in their lane, and if they're going to jump into my lane, kind of work with me instead of working against me. That's all I ask for. And besides that, we had our yearly trench day and pool party, which was pretty fun. And I introduced the gang to Strong Zero. Well, not real Strong Zero. It's minus 196. And it's the same thing as Strong Zero, except that minus 196 is vodka seltzer, is vodka base, and Strong Zero is shochu base. And that the original Strong Zero is 9% alcohol by volume, whereas 196 is 5.5% volume alcohol by volume. And I noticed something too. I think they're slowly phasing out Strong Zero in Japan because I really didn't see a lot of it. I kept seeing 196, minus 196, and I kept thinking, oh, it's the same thing. But I found out through my friend Beast that it's a different blend. So I was like, oh, okay, I got you. So there was that. And we went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a remaster. And yes, we did bring pork rinds.
Yep.
And my friend Kevin, he actually mentioned earlier on Facebook that he's going to go see it tonight. And I told him, don't forget the pork rinds. And if you know exactly what I'm talking about, you are a person of culture. If not, go back and watch the first movie. You'll greatly understand. I also remember when the movie came out, there was it was the roulette pork rinds. They had them in limited edition green bags with the turtles on the cover on it. So I thought that was kind of cool. And that's basically has been it. Just getting things together so we can roll up in here. So you know how that goes. Also, I know this week we were going to talk Otakon with Barry Mellon, but honestly, I legitimately forgot as I was putting everything together. But don't worry. Next week it'll be me and Barry. We're going to talk Otakon. They went, I didn't. I want to talk to them about how the con was. We're going to discuss the whole hotel lottery and the blowback. And if there is room, we'll talk about Once Upon a Con. It was a book convention gone wrong. Terribly and horribly wrong.
Oops.
Yeah. I yeah, I have a first-hand experience with another friend of mine who went, so that's going to be kind of interesting. So there is that. So that's basically what's going on. We're going to get into some housekeeping notes here. Let me see if this will refresh. There we go. Let's see, what do we have here? Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page. The video episodes, they are available Thursdays at 12 noon, so definitely check them out and share them around if you can. Also, I want to share. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. See if I can copy the image to this. I want to share this link here. Okay, see if I can get it to come up. Okay, great. I want to share this real quick. We talked about on our show a while back about Mike McFarland GoFundMe to help raise money for his surgery, but things kind of took a little turn for the worse. So basically his recovery time is going to take a little bit longer than normal. So what's going to happen is they're doing a fundraiser. So they're raffling off a issue of the Pokemon manga, issue 4 of Pokemon Pikachu Shocks Back. I think it's kind of cool that I actually have this one. I actually have this issue in storage. But if you head over to the GoFundMe page, it's GoFundMe. Look up Mike McFarland's Road to Recovery, and if you donate $10, you get an entry. And if you happen to win, you'll get the autograph. And it's signed by Amy Birnbaum, Darren Dustin, Wayne Grayson, twice by Dan Green, Michael Haney, Megan Hollinshead, Ted Lewis, Lisa Ortiz, Roger Parsons, Jonathan Todd Ross, Tony Salerno, Tara Sands, Eric Stewart, Veronica Taylor, Mark Thompson, and Stuart Zagnett. So definitely check that out. So now we got that hidden. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. I think I have this next thing saved, and yep, yes I do. Let me copy this image link and see if this will come up. This is something else I saw on the Book of Face, and I'm just like, it's a great idea and all, but I don't really see this actually happening. So in the States. So if you went to Comiket, there was a company there that was helping with the bad odors by spraying visitors with deodorants. And the big thing is, this is a great idea. This should work. This should be great. This should happen. No, it should not happen. I mean, it should, but at the same time, it should not. So basically, the company Wakayamako set up a deodorizing gate that spray people that went through. It's a special mist to eliminate odor-causing bacteria. Okay, that's a great thing. But here is the issue. Number one, that is going to cause a liability with the convention center, and so forth. Secondly, what you're spraying that person with, they could be allergic to it. And that could cause an allergic reaction, and we don't want that. You have to understand there are all types of deodorants that you can buy in stores, from normal to adjustable pH balance, all this types of stuff. There are some people that only wear specific deodorants because it works for them, and spraying them with something could be an issue, even if they're wearing stuff, you know? So, as much as I'd like to see this happen, most likely it won't. So, let's just, how you say, keep it at that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Our next convention is another anime convention in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, October 19th to the 21st, I believe. Let me pull up the calendar real quick. Nope, it's actually October 17th to the 19th. We'll be up there on the 16th hanging out, having a good time. So if you see us, come through and say hi. We really appreciate that. So I think that's it for our housekeeping news. We'll go ahead and get into our Geek Roundtable, where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our lives. So, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, Mako-chan will now explain this wonderful looking vase that is on her screen.
Yeah, so I have flowers, obviously. A lot of these flowers, sometimes the Lego ones and a bunch of the knockoffs, they don't come with vases. So when I got the yellow roses, I decided that, why the hell not? I will try one of the 3D puzzle vases.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are mixed reviews about them, uh, horrible mixed reviews.
Yeah?
And I can say that every single review is correct.
All right, what do you mean by horrible?
Um, it can be very difficult to put this together.
Mm.
Because at some point you really can't get in there to push both sides of the pieces, and they only go one way. So you may have to have a piece that's already connected that needs to go behind the piece that's next to it. So you have to like pull it apart a little bit to get everything to go in flush.
Ooh.
I can't tell you how many times as I was trying to do this, broke it. Um, so for this particular piece, I actually had to start gluing shit.
Seriously?
Yeah, I've never had to do that before. Um, so I didn't like glue every single piece. I just went through, like I would put a couple of pieces together and then just put a quick dot into the seams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like fully glued together. If I were to, really pick this up and hold it with a tight grip,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to break apart. Um, but I was able to glue it just enough to keep everything together
Mm-hmm.
as I was building more onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it comes with the little LED battery operated lights. So it does light up, but because my lights are on, you can't see
Mm-hmm.
it. And if I shut the lights, you can't see the flowers in it. So
Ah.
I will say that, obviously, as you can see with the uh, pattern on there, that it is Starry Nights from Van Gogh. Um, and when they created this puzzle, they did not take into account creating it on an angle.
Ooh.
So if you look really close, you can see that a lot of it is kind of chopped off or starts at a very weird angle, and that's because the piece that's missing, they just got rid of to make it smooth. So it's a very loose interpretation of Starry Night, but it is what it is.
Well, now,
Yeah.
in a way, I can kind of understand it being that fragile if it falls apart if you pick it up because it is a vase after all. But still, that's just a little. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I were to touch it, the weight of the flowers causes it to fall on itself. So it's really not very stable at all. When I actually do put it up, I'm gonna have to put some sort of weight in the bottom of it, just so that I know that if I happen to brush up against it, it's not gonna fall over.
Uh, Maybe it's just me. I think you should put that vase like on a table and record yourself moving your finger in to touch it and see it fall over and break. But you gotta put the JoJo to be continued on it. Like you gotta do it in slow motion, and then soon as roundabout hits, you touch the vase. That would be kind of
Hell
funny.
no.
Aw, that would be kind of
Hell no.
funny.
Yeah, then you can buy me a new one so that I can do that and not screw up the glue that's on the one that I actually did.
Well, then how much did that one run you?
Like 15.
I am sorely tempted.
They have a bunch of different styles too, so
All right, we'll talk more about that after because I can edit it together to make it look just like that. So, anywho, for me, I've been catching up with some anime. I'm catching up with my Dress Up Darling. I just watched Rent a Girlfriend, and Mammy needs to be slapped into next week. Let's see, and I watched New Panty Stocking. I didn't watch much anime last week because normally I do the bulk of my anime viewing on the weekends, but since I was out of town, it didn't happen. So when I'm trying to think, I know I watched something last night while I was in bed, and I could not remember what it was. No. That was my Dress Up Darling. Yeah, I watched that last night while I was in bed. Because now that I have a tablet, what I find myself doing is when I'm really tired and I have like a very simple computer chair. It's not as comfy as the last one I had. That one was oh so comfy. Worn in but comfy. This one is not so much. So after a while, it's like I just don't want to sit here. So I will just go over to the bed, pull out the tablet, watch an episode, and go to bed. So that's what I did. I don't really have any more figures to show off per se because the rest of the figures I have bought are in storage. Oh wait, I do have one. I'll show that next week. It's a Christmas figure, and originally I was going to put it in storage, but I realized, I think I'll grab it and hold on to it. Maybe once I get things set up and organized the way I want to, and if I can find room to kind of put another shelf, I will grab all of my Christmas figures and put them on display, and actually have room to put my little tree up. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. So enough about that. That's basically been my Geek Roundtable. So now that things are going that way, let's go ahead and get on with the show tonight. And we are going to talk about Crunchyroll. Mako, what's going on with Crunchyroll? It looks like some people are losing their jobs and they're trying to reorg and do other things. So,
yeah, let me pull that up. Yeah, so this actually broke on Variety,
Mm.
believe it or not. Crunchyroll president Raul Perini sent out to staff a memo that reveals that Crunchyroll is laying off a number of employees. In addition, some employees will expand their scope and others will be getting new job assignments. These changes are effective as of Tuesday, so I believe today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today in the US, while layoffs in other countries will follow respective timelines and laws. Perini also stated in the memo that the staff believes, quote, the right path forward is a new organizational model that supports regionally empowered teams to lean into anime fandom even further. As such, Crunchyroll is building engineering hubs in the US, Mexico, and India, uh, quote, to spark innovation and fuel transformation. The company is also reevaluating how to strengthen its fan experience. So obviously, this is probably coming down from Sony directly.
Probably, because remember, for those of you who don't know, there was a time when people that worked at Funimation, they were doing their recordings and their voice work remotely. But when Sony came in the picture and became the majority investor, that all changed. That all had to be done in house. So yeah.
Yeah, they want as many people working in-house as possible for every job out there.
I
Um,
I will say this. I do understand the reasoning behind that. Yes, the technology is there where you can do so much stuff remotely. There are other companies who do voice work where it can be done remotely. But not everybody has high speed internet. Not everybody has the high quality audio equipment to make it sound like you're in studio. But with the right gear and internet and ISP, you can have that, you know?
well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's all well and good,
Yeah.
but they have people that aren't voice actors, they're forcing them back into the office.
Yeah, I mean,
The people that are, doing timing and
yeah,
things like that, they're just watching the episode over and over and over again to get the timing on crap right.
yeah, and that
They
aspect,
don't want to be in office, but Sony forced them all back
yeah,
anyway.
that I can see where it's like a whole bandwidth thing. Like the internal, you're gonna sit here, do this, and upload it to our internal servers. Done. Okay, doing it remotely, something could happen with the network connect. They're being overly protective, and I understand that. Also, another thing you have to understand, a lot of Japanese companies that are hundreds of, that are been going for long periods of time have not fully embraced the digital divide, the digital technology as much as other companies outside of Japan has, which to me is probably why online shopping has not really taken off there as it is here. I mean, yeah, you can order stuff online, but if you go to Japan, the malls are still busy as ever, as if it was the friggin' late '90s, early 2000s here, and I'm about that, you know. That's one of the reasons why so many people were complaining with Nintendo being on with the digital and their streaming and all of that. There, it's all about physical. You can still find tons of anime on physical releases there much easier than you can here with some stuff. You know, that's more or less long and short. Didn't mean to cut you off. So was that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay, all right. I wasn't sure. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about a very popular mangaka. And we've talked about this previously on episodes going ways back. Ken Akamatsu. Some of those who say he sounds kind of familiar. Ken Akamatsu is the mangaka to one of my personal favorite mangas, Love Hina. He has also worked on Negima Master Negimagi and UQ Holder Magister Negimagi 2. I think Negima had also like two different releases or something like that. I don't remember. But Here's the thing. He says he is not going to be at Comiket while he is vice minister. I get that. Responsibilities. He confirmed last Tuesday that he will not be appearing at the second day of Comiket because he said he's not going to be there. He noted that the world's largest event for self-published doujin works accepted his circle's application for a booth, but due to his position as parliamentary vice minister, he will not take part in the event. Akamatsu also noted that he will not attend the cross-party street demonstrators at Comiket 106. In his announcement, he cited a link to the regulations for ministers of state, vice ministers, and parliamentary vice ministers, but did not note which section of the regulations he would be violating if he takes part in Comiket 106. However, he did add that fellow Liberal Democratic Party legislator Taro Yamada will attend the Comiket. Yamada will be at the booth for which Akamatsu and Yamada jointly sent an application. However, no Akamatsu works will be available at the booth. This is the second Comiket in a row he has not attended. In December 2024, he stated that he will also will not attend 105 due to his parliamentary vice minister positions. I think it would be kind of cool to see him there, but at the same time, it's probably going to be like what's the term I'm looking for? Well, anyway, I don't remember the proper term. Now I remember. Conflict of interest or something like that. Who knows? Or then again, maybe because of the books that he's put out, it might not give him a proper face or profile or something like that. Either way, somebody else is running the booth. I think that's a good thing. So, let's just leave it at that. And Black Bunny says, Love Hina is a name I haven't heard in quite a long time. Yes, it is. And it's actually one of my favorite animes. And if you, I don't know if you guys saw on an episode a few weeks back when I went to Book Off. By the way, there was another Book Off open in Manhattan, so I have to swing by there and check that place out. I picked up this Love Hina Naru Narusigawa figure at the Book Off in Brooklyn. And the thing is, I have been looking for that figure off and on for about 10 years. Actually, 10, 15 years. And the price has gone up, the price has gone down. I got that for $25. I'm very appreciative of that. And somewhere in my storage is Love Hina, the complete series on DVD. So, yes. Yes, the Soho location. But yet they call it the NoHo location. I think they kind of screwed that up, so I think since I have an early shift Friday, I might swing by and check it out. I always go in there and be like, I shouldn't be buying stuff, but here we are. So, anyhow. Next up, we're going to talk about something that kind of shocked a friend of mine. An anime adaptation of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, this has been off and on discussed. So I am glad that they are finally actually coming out with it. So LW Entertainment, which was formerly known as Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Really Useful Group, announced Wednesday that it is partnering with Cubic Pictures and its founder, Justin Leach, co-executive producer on the Star Wars Visions anthology and showrunner of the Eden and Leviathan anime, in order to explore opportunities for an anime adaptation of the Phantom of the Opera stage musical. The partnership is part of a series of new film and television projects based on the Phantom of the Opera and Andrew Lloyd Webber's other titles. So, Cubic Pictures Leach said, I'm incredibly excited to join forces with the talented team at LW Entertainment to bring the Phantom of the Opera to life through anime. This project is a rare opportunity to unite the grandeur of music theater with the artistry of Japanese animation. Two beloved traditions that have touched audiences around the world. And there goes my camera.
Whoops.
So yes, our goal is to create a timeless and emotionally resonant experience that speaks to a global audience and honors the legacy of this iconic story. So yeah, while uh the original run obviously is no longer on Broadway, it is coming back. So if you are looking for something to do, you can see that in New York. I don't know if it is still playing on London's West End. There is a sequel to the musical titled Love Never Dies.
Mm.
Um, that did not go over well. So yeah. Um, there are obviously quite a lot of things to be interested in something like this. Um, Cubic Pictures has worked with a lot of Japanese creators and anime studios during the whole Star Wars Visions series. Obviously, there are, I believe, 3 volumes. Actually, I think the third volume is coming out next year. Um, but Cubic Pictures works with companies like Trigger,
Mm.
Kamikaze, Duga, Geno Studios, Production IG. They will be working on the third volume with Polygon Pictures, with Studio. So this could be something like that, given the popularity of it, where different pieces may be done by different companies. It could be that, one company will be doing it from start to finish. Um, but given who Cubic Pictures has worked with, what other companies they've worked with, what anime projects they have coming out now, this is actually promising to be a pretty interesting uh, project that will be coming out.
I only know Phantom of the Opera. There's probably other musicals and stuff that's come from him that I probably have heard, not realized that he's done. But is there is there anything else?
Um, let's see.
Mm.
Obviously, Phantom of the
Yeah.
Opera.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Cats is his.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ Superstar is
Okay,
his.
I would love to see.
Evita is his.
I would love to see Jesus Christ Superstar as a musical. I would love to, as a no as a musical by Takarazuka. I would love to see that.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be another one that would probably work really well for that would be Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Express is also his. Sunset Boulevard
Oh,
is
wait.
his.
What was the one
School of
before?
Rock
What's the one before
is
Sunset? What's the one before Sunset Boulevard?
Starlight Express.
I just want you to know, I always wanted to see Starlight Express. I mean, okay, when you're a little kid and you're watching this commercial for all these people in roller skates wearing these flashy outfits and this awesome music, there's something you want to see. And I think if they ever brought that back to Broadway, that would probably be like a day one purchase for tickets for me. I'm I'm not really big into Broadway per se. I mean, I've seen with Mako-chan Beetlejuice twice because it was great. But something like that, I would not hesitate. And if I had the money at the time, I would have seen A Christmas Story, the musical, as well. But thankfully, I have that on Blu-ray. And as C. DeBeery says, I would rather they just directly adapt the book. Maybe they could turn the book into a multi-part series for Netflix.
uh I don't know.
Hmm. Anywho, moving right along, we're gonna jump into drama down at Gungho Online Entertainment. It's not a good thing. It really isn't. Um, it seems that they have dismissed a former executive level employee for embezzlement last month, and is consulting with a criminal investigative authority to discuss the possibility of filing a criminal complaint against them. Oh, that's not good. Now, the employee misappropriated 246 million yen, which is about 1.7 million dollars US. And what this person did was they made fictitious business orders to themselves through a work matching service operated by a third party company for several years. The employee, acting as the contractor, caused an outflow of about 100 million yen, which is 681 US dollars, by improperly paying outsourcing fees to a business partner despite no actual business. So basically, it's like this: I have AJS Enterprises, and I'm writing a check out to DJ Ranma S LLC, and I'm the LLC, and I'm pulling money from my. That's basically how it is. Writing it out to myself on behalf of this company that doesn't exist, and theoretically, I'm taking that money from the company and putting it in my check, in my account. That's basically what this person was doing. So, anywho, following the initial investigation, Gungho formed an internal investigation team by two independent auditors. In order to prevent this in the future, the company is enhancing compliance education and training programs, improving internal controls over the approval process for orders with external vendors, and better monitoring of its internal audits. On top of that, the company is reducing the executive compensation to 5 directors to clarify management responsibility, including a 30% reduction in the 3-month base salary for the representative director and president, CEO, and a 10% reduction in the base salary for executive director. So everybody's going to feel that pinch. The company stated that the impact of the employee's embezzlement on the consolidation financial results for the fiscal year ending in December of 2025 is now irrelevant. For those of you who some of you already know of the company Gungho Online Entertainment. They are the ones that published the remaster of Lunar, both RPGs. And I know there was some brouhaha with it, but there it is what it is. But they also have done other titles as well. You may know them from Puzzle and Dragons. They also do Ragnarok Online. And I was thinking about it, that's why I've heard them originally, because I used to play RO a lot back in the day. And they also do the online game on the Switch, Ninjala. And they also do the Disney Pixel RPG games. So they've kind of been around the block a little bit. So we got that out the way. Moving right along. Now, I don't know about you, but there are times at conventions I see people holding up the One Piece flag as a new skull and crossbones and so forth. But in this case, one country legitimately thinks it is treasonous.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting. So Indonesia
Mm-hmm.
celebrates its 80th Independence Day. Was actually this past Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The country's president has called on Indonesians to display the country's flag ahead of the day itself. But many have instead chosen to raise an otaku flag, the Jolly Roger flag of the Straw Hat Pirates of One Piece. They started doing this for a couple of reasons,
Mm-hmm.
mostly out of protest to the numerous controversial policy changes since the president began his term.
That's not
The
good.
most recent changes was a revision to the Indonesian National Armed Force Act, which would allow military officers to also serve as members of the civilian government without resigning from their military position. Sounds very One PC.
Mm-hmm.
The reform could potentially grant military officers influence in the government not seen since the dictator's reign more than 2 decades ago.
Gee, this sounds very
The symbol,
familiar.
yeah, the symbol can be seen not just as flags flown outside residences or on the streets, but also as street art on walls and roads or car stickers. A flag seller in Central Java told Reuters he received an overwhelming number of orders for the One Piece flag over the last month and has stopped accepting new orders for the flag. The symbol has also dominated Indonesian social media. So they're not just displaying the symbol out of an opposition to the Reform Act, but also as a general symbol of discontent and frustration with injustices and standard of living inequality in the country. Unfortunately, the reception has been mixed in the government. The Deputy House Speaker called it an attempt to divide unity. A central right politician even floated the idea that displaying the symbol could be perceived as treasonous. Police have stated that they are monitoring the use of the symbol that goes against the spirit of nationalism, including pirate or fictional themed flags. They've confiscated a number of flags, according to the local media. However, the state secretary noted that the president himself had no objection to the flag as a form of quote unquote creative expression. Deputy Home Affairs Minister stated that expressions such as this were a natural phenomenon in a democracy. Uh, so yeah, you remember them talking about the guy that was, the dictator from 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
Turns out this president was one of his.
Oh,
Yeah.
the irony.
And surprisingly, he lied to get his presidency. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, he was previously commander of the Special Forces unit and was never really able to escape suspicion of certain things that probably should not be done in a democratic society.
What about Washington,
He
D.C.?
was, he was part of the dictator's inner circle and then was dismissed from the military following the dictator's downfall. So his electoral campaign sought to rewrite his image as a friendly, paternalistic and populist figure, appealing to a new generation who had no experience of his controversial past. Yeah. So far, he's garnered opposition on plans to raise the value added tax, slash government budgets and employment, and raise defense spending, in addition to the most recent issue of legislative reform of the National Armed Forces. However, he has gained praise for programs like providing free lunch meals to children, as well as providing free medical checkups.
I'm going
So,
to do all these
yeah.
terrible things, but here's some nice stuff I'm going to give y'all in exchange.
Yeah, pretty much. Definitely very dictatory sounding things that, he has been doing. But yeah, a whole country using the flag of the pirates for showing their discontent.
Well,
Not for nothing, that's pretty damn cool.
and I agree. And as you all know, I am not the biggest One Piece fan. No, I am not. But I can get behind this, and I certainly have no problems waving the Jolly Roger flag at a protest here in this country for obvious reasons. I will cosplay Monkey D. Luffy and stand in a protest with waving the flag back and forth. I will do that. And I think I know somebody who would help me to do that too. So, anywho, now that we got after that, we have one more story to talk about that we're gonna get into. Meanwhile, in Japan, now we have discussed clothing team ups and so forth in the past. We've also discussed sneaker team ups in the past. Like a couple of years back, we talked about the I think it was Journeys and Sailor Moon sneakers. Was it not Journeys? What was Journeys was the reseller.
Converse?
What was it?
Converse?
I don't think it was Converse. No. I'm trying. My box is back there, and the funny thing is, I can't see the full box. Say what?
The sneakers you have are Converse.
No, they're not. They're not Converse. Vans. That's who it is. Vans. Well, yeah, because Vans and Converses they do kind of look like in the pattern, that they wear, because they're for like thin people. So yeah. So we had that, and I don't know if you knew, but Skechers actually had a team up with One Piece for a while. I mean, you could find the sneakers for a while at their wholesale places. I saw them there. But now things are getting a little serious.
Yeah, Puma has Sonic right now. Sonic, Tails, and Shadow.
And now we got Nike teaming up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I halfway expected to see Nike and My Hero Academia, because those sneakers that Deku has, yeah, those are definitely Nikes. I'm just saying. But they are introducing what's called the Air Max 95 QS YGO, which is born from the footwear that Joey Wheeler wears in the classic anime Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was adapted from the manga that first captured attention of athletes worldwide more than 2.5 decades ago. That's a fancy way of saying 25 years. The collaboration brings the unreal silhouette to life for the first time, meticulously replicating the creator's original vision to honor Yu-Gi-Oh's unrivaled standing within the world of anime fandom. The footwear comes with custom playable Nike Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game cards, and it comes with a complimentary apparel collection that further reflects the long-standing authentic connection between Nike and Yu-Gi-Oh! The collaboration is additionally brought to life through a campaign that pays homage to the original series, featuring the original series' original English and Japanese voice actors, which is pretty cool. This will be available September 12th with a global and Japan exclusive releases. Oh god, eBay is going to be fucking wild now. Speaking of Converses, I still want to see a team of Sailor Senshi wearing matching colored Converse sneakers with their insignias on the sides. That would be kind of cool. And as Arlie 1987 says, Yu-Gi-Oh! Really needs a shot in the arm right now. I mean, people are still buying the cards and still playing the game, so at least there's that. And now that we got that out of the way, remember, Nike, September 12th, get yours. At least it'll be a decent reason to be on the line at midnight for a release, because we all know there will be one. Let's get into Meanwhile in Japan. And you know what? I'm going to take the last story.
Let's see. I had a feeling you would. I'm gonna take the second one.
All right, then. The story is all yours.
Yeah, so there is a new gacha capsule store shop that's coming out. It's a specialty one though.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the tattoo parlors that are doing the machines, the get what you gets. This is kind of the same thing, except that it's booze.
Mm.
So yeah, and even those that don't speak Japanese know, most of them know what the word gacha is now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a handy development, because obviously there are, stores all over the place now that have those, little machines. So this month, there is a sake gacha machine that is going to be installed in Tokyo. It's set to open inside Tobu Department Store next to downtown Tokyo's Ikebukuro Station. And it's the Kurin Sake Gasha pop-up store.
And I actually know where
Operated
that
by
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually know where that is
So
because.
it's operated by No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I just know where that is because yes, everybody knows Akihabara. Akihabara is the spot for anime merch, but it's also the spot of overpriced anime merch. You go to Ikebukuro to get the good deals, them and Nakano Broadway. So I have been to Ikebukuro at least 2-3 times, walking around exploring, finding stuff. So I know exactly. Let's just say if I was going back to Japan in a couple like during this, I know exactly where to go to find it.
So yes. So obviously it's gacha, so the little balls inside are very small. However, you don't have to worry about that. They're not actually filled with the alcohol. There's a voucher inside of them.
Mm.
And that's where I was saying it's a kind of get what you get. So obviously, this isn't necessarily, anything is fine as long as it gets you drunk kind of promotion. The shop is going to have 5 different categories of alcoholic drinks. So one is specifically for sake,
Mm-hmm.
one is specifically for fruit liqueurs and sweet tasting alcoholic beverages, and one is in omakase style with a variety of spirits. There's also a mini-sized sake gasha that has the mini bottles, and then there's a premium gasha. Those are ultra luxurious possible prizes, like a rare 50-year age shoju that usually retails for 110,000 yen, which is $743. There's also a 30-year-old sake
Mm.
that is 55,000 yen. So those are very much special occasion drinks and not something that you're just going to down. The gacha machine ranges in price from 1,000 yen for the mini bottle gacha, 5,000 yen for the premium gacha, and the other three are 2,500 yen. So yeah, not for nothing. That sounds like a really fun gacha for those that might not necessarily know what they want to drink, or those that are looking to find something that they may, have never tried before.
I could go for that. it kind of
I
reminds
think
me.
it's definitely. Hmm?
I was gonna say that kind of reminds me. One of my coworkers was asking me to bring back a specific Suntory whiskey from Japan. Like when I got to the duty free shops, and she was telling me what it was, and I said to her, "You can get that at the liquor store. That's a few blocks from the office." No, no, no. Yeah, you can get that at the liquor store a few blocks from the office. Because Suntory exports a lot of their whiskeys. It ain't hard to find. All right.
Yeah, so I think I would enjoy it just to find something new.
I can actually see you up in the hotel room, with the shot glass that you bought at the 7-Eleven, just enjoying it with some
Definitely.
with some with some spicy curry, something like that. All right. And Black Bunny says they're still looking to try Strong Zero just to see what the hype is about. Okay. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show. Um, you can get Strong Zero here in the States, but it's not the real Strong Zero. It's called minus 196. The difference is minus 196 is made with vodka. Strong Zero is, and that's 5% alcohol by volume. And Strong Zero is made with shochu, which is 9% alcohol by volume. So, and while I was in Japan, I didn't see Strong Zero as much as I normally did the last time I went. So maybe this is a change or something. I don't know. But if you want to try something that's kind of close to it, there you go. Yeah, like I said, like Bob Coffee says, foreign Strong Zero is 196 and available at Walmart. And oddly enough, that same 190 minus 196 you can get in Japan in the konbinis. Okay, I've seen more of that than the actual Strong Zero, but I was seeing a whole variety of flavors. I mean, like I think I tried tomato flavored minus 196. If I know I took a picture of it, so I probably did. So all right, so now we're gonna get into our more or less our final story. Yes, Black Bunny. There's a couple places in New York City that has it. I know of two places in Brooklyn that has it. There is a Asian run liquor store in down in Brooklyn going towards Coney Island where you can get it. But if you go on their website and you punch in your zip code, you can find it that way too. And it was pretty on point. So let's see. Now let's get into our final story of the night. We've kind of derailed, but it's par for the course. We're going to talk about a reverse maid cafe that lets cosplaying customers play the part of the maids in Tokyo. Oh, I wish Barry was here for this because I know they'd love this story. So by now, pretty much everyone with interest in Japanese pop culture knows how maid cafes work. After a customer orders from the menu, a maid serves them their food and drink, usually addressing them as mistress or master and adding a dash of classical elegance or playful cuteness to the meal. Maid cafes have become an established part of Japan's dining and entertainment scene, but one establishment is now breaking ground by doing a reverse maid cafe. Maid ni Nariru Cafe lays its concept out in its name, which translates to cafe where you can become a maid. At this pop-up maid cafe, customers themselves are the ones who take the role of the maid. After selecting an apron and a bonnet or cap of your liking, you'll serve tea and cakes to your customer with all of the refined hospitality befitting of a maid. That's kind of cool. Now, that might sound like Maid ni Naruru Cafe, which also goes by Become a Maid, is trying to have it both ways. By charging conventional customers for the food and drink while also charging the other customers to play maid. That's not actually the case though. Because the high class young lady the cafe maids are serving isn't actually a customer. Instead, it's someone playing the role of a customer. And no, there's no pressure to bring her drinks and sweets ASAP and then scurry back to the kitchen to grab the next order. That's because working at Become a Maid is more like a cosplay photo shoot. The cafe's employees will take photos using your smartphone as you serve your customer. In other words, this is a cafe where the customers pretend to be a maid who pretends to be working while someone else is working by pretending to be a customer. So it's basically a cafe where you can dress up as the customer and the maid and take pictures. Interesting concept. And each 90-minute session gives you time to enjoy a drink and dessert as well. Become a Maid's next iteration is scheduled for August 16th, which is already passed, and hosted at the Yoromichi Cafe Nyan and Peace in Tokyo's Shimokitazawa neighborhood, just a bit west of the city center. Tickets are priced at 4,000 yen, which is $27, and can be reserved online. Just go to I don't really go through it. And it has the starting times of 2, 2:15, 3:45, and 4 p.m. So that's kind of an interesting concept. I like that. And as Bob Coffey says, sounds like a concept cafe more than traditional cafes. Yep. And he goes back to mentioning about the Big Boy Strong Zero that he found in Family Mart and 7-Eleven. Yeah, I saw those big ones. I looked at it like, I'm not trying to get that messed up while I'm on my trip. I just want to enjoy a nice buzz and go about my way. So that's all I really wanted to do. And I think that's it. I think we're actually done for tonight. A new record. Well, one of the top 10.
Not bad.
Yeah, not one of the top 10 records. So, anywho, let's get up on out of here. So, if you like tonight...
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. So, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So, what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Don't forget to visit our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find not just our weekly podcast, you will find anime reviews, editorials, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook fan page of cosplay coverage. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And please subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else where podcasting are available. Follow us on our social media pages. Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Follow us on those and keep the hype going. And to everyone that follows us on our socials, thank you so much. We really couldn't be here without you. Y'all are the GOAT. And if you're still here, check out our tip jar down below. There is direct links to our stream elements, our stream labs, and our Ko-Fi. If you want, you can always cheer us on with bits, or you can always sub to the channel and give out a gift sub. You can also follow us, and I want to give a special shout out to one of our newer followers, Amino Jaku 426. You are a person of culture. If you know, you know. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I'm very tired. So I'm going to bed.
My last words, I think I'm going to move the microphone stand to the other side. That way it doesn't look like I'm all trapped in here. I'm just trying to figure out and play with something here. So, anywho, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. We'll be discussing Otakon, and if we have time, I think we'll discuss Once Upon a Con, if not next week, the week after. We have a lot coming down the pipe, so we hope that you join us for our episodes. So, it's time for us to get up and out of here. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect, awesome. We're gonna transfer and get up on out of here. So, see you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!